fellow mutants.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. In this video, I saw this Collider video. Um, talk about how the Mutant Mayhem turtles set up this cosmic storyline. As before I get into it, as you guys may know, I had watched Mutant Mayhem twice. Because I like the first time, like the reason why I watched it twice, because the second time I wanted to make sure what I was feeling was um like that I was feeling like what I was feeling was like if it still stuck the second time around, and yeah, it did. Which is Mutant Mayhem is a good kids film, but as an intro film, it's wonky, in my humbled opinion. I'm not going to like discourage you guys from watching Mutant Mayhem if you guys don't want to, but if you guys are wanting to watch it because you guys are intro fans, just let you guys know, in my humble opinion, I feel like you guys be more disappointed than pleased. But if you're watching it just to have like a fun time to watch like a random kids film, but I think you have a good time. So that's my humble opinion. Anywho, let's get into the article. So in this article, as you guys may see, yeah, it is so that's why I pretty much said that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Mutant Mayhem, hints at this cosmic storyline. So let's give this a feel, shall we? If there's one thing to take away from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem, is that the filmmakers love nearly every aspect of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mythos. If that was the case, then they wouldn't have put the Turtles in high school. Anyways, there's call outs to the Heroes and a Half Shell's co-creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, which I admit those call outs to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird were pretty cool. I admit that because there's like the sign that has Laird's last name on the rooftop where April and the Turtles talk for the first time. And the high school that April O'Neil goes to is Eastman High, on to Kevin Eastman, which I met in person last year in March. Was awesome. Anyways, there's a scene that perfectly replicates the cover of the very first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book. Really? I gotta see what they're referring to about that. Anyways, even Vanilla Ice's Vanilla Ninja Rap played during the first big fight scene, and that was from one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies that received a rather lukewarm critical reception. Secret of the Ooze, which is where Ninja Rap debuted, is amongst the better movies. I feel like it's my favorite Ninja Turtle film, but the '90s film is the best. Um, I think the reason why it was like with what I read, I do know that Secret of the Ooze got some little backlash, but not too much compared to like the third one, because it was a tad bit more goofy than the first one was, which I was okay with. But also like the first one too, so I don't know. Now the video to discuss the 90s trilogy here. Keep going, Phil. Don't get distracted. Anyways, whether viewers are lifelong Ninja Turtle fans or newcomers to the franchise, there's something to appeal to them. And that extends to the film and so films make credit scene, which tease one of the turtle's greatest enemies. Spoiler alert! Shredder. So the reveal of the TCRI and its true purpose hint at Krang. Though the biggest draw of the mid-credit scene is the appearance of the turtle's arch nemesis, the Shredder. The mysterious TCRI and CEO Cynthia Utron loom large throughout the film. It turns out that TCRI was behind the mutation that Baxter Stockman used in his experiments, which I do feel like Baxter Stockman was kind of underutilized in the film, but that's just me, anyways. Especially for the actor who played him, I felt like he should have had a tad bit bigger role than that, what he had. But anyways, and it's the same mutagen that led to the turtles becoming mutated, as well as their adopted father Splinter. And Superfly and his gang of mutants, Leonardo and April O'Neil pieced together that TTRI actually stands for Techno Cosmo Research Institute. While that hints at an excuse me, extraterrestrial origin of the mutagen, the name Utrom should also ring a bell, as it is the same name of the alien species that the turtles' foe Krang is part of. See, I got that because I was like, because of course I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan. When I saw it the second time, it was with my brother. Because the first time I saw myself, second time I saw it with my brother. I was happy that I was able to see that with my brother. Um, and like my brother didn't really pick that up. I did. Pretty much if you guys aren't familiar with what Krang is, which is he's part like he was one of the two main baddies. I feel like in the '80s cartoon. But if you don't know what like Utrom is, they're pretty much brain aliens. They're pretty much brains. That's the best description I could tell you. Brains with little tentacles on the side. That's the best description I could tell you. Um, in the original Ross comics, the Utroms were a race of scientific explorers who crash landed on Earth. Well, the turtles ended up infiltrating the TCRI to help heal a wounded Splinter. They ended up being teleported across the galaxy and battling other alien species, including the warlike Triceratons, which is another cool story arc in itself, in my opinion. Eventually, the Utroms helped heal Splinter and departed from Earth. Other versions of Ultron, particularly Krang, have been depicted as a warlike race that spreads its influence over the galaxy. Using the Utroms as foes in the future TMNT film could continue to help the Mutant Mayhem franchise stand out from the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles adaptations. Given how off the wall the original premise is, throwing aliens into the mix shouldn't be that much of a stretch. And truth be told, like sure, Out of the Shadows had Krang in it, sure. Um, and sure, like the closest thing we had to like multiple Krang or Ultrons, um, and a Ninja Turtle film that we got was the Rise of the Ninja Turtles film that we got in like what 2022, 2 years ago now. But like in terms of like action, the closest thing we got to Utroms is Krang. So I don't know. I'll be if they. I'm kind of skeptical about Ultron's really being a phenomenal force in Mutant Mayhem, even though that's I'm agreeing admittedly is where they seem to be going at. But no, Mutant Mayhem universe, I want to be like, I mean in general, I would be open to the Krang being a predominant force in a natural film, right? Um, More so than it was in the rise of the natural film. Anyways, Krang and the Utroms have been a major part of the other TMNT adaptations. So this is pretty much what I meant by they're pretty much a giant brain. As previously mentioned, Krang and the rest of the Utrom race has been a fixture in other TMNT adaptations. Most notably, Krang served as one of the major villains in the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anime series, voiced by Pat Farley. There he joined forces with the Shredder in order to subjugate the Earth. It goes without saying that the duo never succeeded, particularly due to the Turtles foiling their plans, partly because Krang and Shredder bickered like an old married couple. Other versions of Ultrons would prove to be much more dangerous. In fact, the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the first Ninja Turtles cartoon I watched, partially because I was born like what 7 years before the older Turtles came out, and at the time, I don't think like DVDs at this time in 2003 was just beginning to be like hot. That's it. I was born in the era in '96 where VHS was still a hot thing, but it was towards the end of the VHS era and towards the beginning of the DVD era. I feel so old. Anyways, in fact, the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series would take a curveball by revealing that the Shredder wasn't really a Rokusaki. He was Utrom warlord named Shrel. Vicious and cunning, Shrel would be the one foe who nearly wiped out the heroes in the half shell. In fact, he almost destroyed all reality during Turtles Forever. It was just the Turtles Forever movie was like the series finale for the '03 Turtles, where the '03 Turtles teamed up with the 1987 Turtles, and later on, the very first on the Turtles to defeat Utrom Shredder. Fun fact: good movie. I just wish that they like did like play the '87 Turtles theme song in the show in the movie. I should say, because that would be great to hear for all 1987 Ninja Turtle fans. Anyways, even the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wait, on I skipped. Okay, the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles featured the Utroms, here renamed to the Krang, as a major foe, with one season culminating in them literally destroying the entire Earth. Even the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics from IDW Publishing have showcased Krang as a force to be reckoned with, recasting him as a general within the Ultron army, and the Turtles as one of his many experiments to create a new race of super soldiers. Perhaps the adaptation made the most use of Krang in the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. The grand finale up to the animated series at the same time. The Krang were absolutely ruthless and managed to conquer the Earth in the future. This led to Casey Jones, which was voiced by Haley Joel Osment, which I nerded out because Haley Joel Osment does Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Anyways, he had a hockey mask and various sporting equipment, traveling back in time to train Leonardo into the leader he needed to become in order to stop them. But Leo and his fellow turtles are nearly overwhelmed by the Krang's superior, as well as their ability to possess others. If Jeff Rose, Seth Rogen, even Goldberg do plan to utilize the Utrons down the road, they have plenty of competition. So utilizing cosmic elements might pay homage to the discarded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles scripts. So, ironically, the last alien element were involved in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. It wasn't received all too well. The last live-action version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, produced by Michael Bay, was released in 2014, and that movie was called Out of the Shadows. With Bay claiming that the turtles would be from an alien race. Yeah, I remember that because like they even made oh wait, that's in 2014. So sorry, the sequel came out in 2016. Would be called Out of the Shadows Samurai. But I remember that too because they even had April O'Neil, Megan Fox's April O'Neil, make a pun to that in the movie, saying like Will Arnett said, "Well, are they aliens?" And she said, "No, that would be stupid." Taking a jab at themselves, which I highly respected. Anyways, fans revolted, but that was only the beginning. An early version of the script from Josh Applebaum and Andrew Nemec, titled "The Blue Door," leaked online. It took a radically different turn from established elements in TMNT lore. Instead of being a ninja shredder, here renamed Colonial Scar led a paramilitary version of the Foot Clan and was himself an alien who could grow blades out of his body. I don't remember hearing this. Like, okay. True to base words, the turtles were alien warriors from another dimension, and so was Splinter. Eventually, the final version of the film will restore the turtles' standard origin and keep the Shredder as a ninja warrior. Now, that's a bit of a lie. While what they said would restore the turtles to standard origin, like sure they did pet rat, pet turtle, but there was no Hamasu Yoshi. They were experiment essentially by the foot. The April's dad and Shredder's second command, adopted son, did. And they were pretty much pets to April and essentially. It's like sure they restored the origin to like the turtles and Splinter being like pets, sure, but like they altered it a bit, which I'm not a huge fan of how they like of the Michael Bay's turtle origins a bit. But I still am more a fan of the Michael Bay turtles than I am of the Mutant Mayhem turtles. Anyways, the sequel turtles, the sequel Out of the Shadows would utilize elements from the Blue Door, including an alien adversary in the form of Krang, voiced by Brad Garrett, as well as Casey Jones, Stephen Mill, as a new ally to the turtles. Which I mainly was excited about Stephen Mill joining because I'm a huge fan of Arrow. I love the show, even though like some of the episodes, like some of the seasons was like but I really enjoyed the Arrow show. Stephen Amell is my favorite Green Arrow, but well, but I don't I'm sorry I'm not sure how I feel about like Stephen Amell was a good Green he was a good Green Arrow, but Stephen Amell did a decent, really good job with what he was given with that Casey Jones. Just I felt like the execution was in. Anyways, as a ninja, but it was rather overstuffed, relying on fan service rather than the character dynamics of the turtles. The turtles are made of. Once again, it should prove to be a roadmap of Mutant Mayhem filmmakers that Utrom could be a major foe if done right. And Mutant Mayhem is not playing in theaters at the moment. When was this made? Oh yeah, it was made published on August 5th. But no, like, and I agree. If done right, the Utroms could be a major foe. Shredder could be a major foe. Um, if done right, I could easily like. I think Mia Mayhem could be the superior movie in between the two. Again, if done right. Um, Nothing would make me happier. And I said this about the Mutant Mayhem movie too. And which is, I'll still say this as a Nick Joe fan, it wouldn't make me, nothing would make me happier than to see, than to go out a Mutant Mayhem 2 and say, you know what, I really enjoyed this. And Mutant Mayhems 2, whatever they call it, I enjoyed this way better than the first one. This is my favorite between the two. Like sit down and like really feel the essence of Nick Sherrill being honored. I didn't really get that too much in Mutant Mayhem. I honestly didn't. I'm sorry. And I'm hoping in the sequel they will honor the legacy of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles better in the sequel. And like I said before, I made videos about it. How it since they're gonna make the Shredder into like a sequel, if they're gonna make it a trilogy, like have it where like the like touch the end of the movie, right? Of this sequel, have it be kind of like a draw, be Krang and Shredder, like it kind of be like a draw, and this because of this, the Turtles go back into the shadows, saying, you know what, this high school thing was cool, which I hated them going to high school, but I have to deal with it. But them going to high school, like, if this high school thing is was cool, but we gotta go back to the shadows to protect the people we love and care about. Um, wow. Um, um, Also like in this like the movie, like the next movie, where like yeah, the Ultrons like could be even more of a threat with a combine of like Shredder's forces. It'd be really tough for the Turtles to beat both forces, but somehow they do it in a very clever way. But also, like, still by the end of the third film, if they do make this into a trilogy, which I have a gut feeling they're going to make this into a trilogy, the Turtles still decides to hide in the shadows. Guess that's universally better for the people that they care about to do and themselves. Anyways, I mean, long story short, I just hope whatever route that they go with for Mutant Mayhem 2 is a better route that they did with the one that came out last year, in my opinion. In terms of like as an intro film. Because I'm not disputing that it's a good kids film, but it's as an intro film. Anywho, anywho, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Got one other. I will talk to you fellow mutants later.